Hello everyone. Hopefully you all are staying at home safe. Great. So today what I would like to discuss with you people is that as per the syllabus given for your half yearly exam in chemistry, you have 3 chapters, that is your physical and chemical changes, element, compound and mixture, and atomic structure, out of which we have already done physical and chemical changes, chemical compounds and mixtures in your class along with its question answers. And in physics you have 4 chapters, that is matter, physical quantities and measurement, force and pressure and energy, out of which first 2 chapters, matter and physical quantities and measurements, we have already done in your class. So we were supposed to start with force and pressure, but since some of the students requested to discuss the question answers of physical quantities and measurement, so before I start with your force and pressure, in this video I would like to discuss the question answers given at the back of the chapter of your book, especially the numericals, because they are very important for your examination point of view. Along with that, I'll also discuss the objective and subjective questions. Let's move to the question answer part of this chapter. So let's start with the objective and the subjective questions of this chapter. So in this page we are seeing some questions. They are all your MCQ type questions. Let's try to solve them. First question says the apparent weight of a floating body, that is always equal to 0. So the option will be C. The second one, if the density of a body is more than the density of the liquid, then the body is going to, what will happen? It will sink. That means if the density of the body is more, then the body is going to sink in the fluid. The CGS unit of density, that is CGS. Remember, centimeter, gram and second. So from there we can write CGS unit is gram per centimeter cube. That is option A. The fourth one, the correct relation. See, the first one, we know the general relation, density is equal to mass per unit volume. So from there, first option is not there. The second one, mass can be equal to density into volume. So the answer will be option B. The density of alcohol is 800 kg per meter cube. What is its relative density? Now how do you find the relative density? Relative density is equal to density of alcohol divided by the density of water. So density of water in kg per meter cube is 1000. So we divide 800 divided by 1000. So we get 0.8 as the relative density. So the answer will be option B. Next part, the question number 6. When a substance is heated, its density, what will happen if a substance is heated? Its density is going to decrease because the molecules gets spread apart. In question number 7 says, a block of silver density is 10.5 gram per centimeter cube, has a volume 50 centimeter cube. The mass of the block will be, how will you find out mass? That is, mass is equal to density into volume. So 10.5 into 50 will give you 525 gram. That is option B. Next is the density of iron in CGS system is 7.8 gram per centimeter cube. The density in SI system. So definitely SI system will be, how will you find out? 1 gram per centimeter cube is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. Therefore 7.8 gram per centimeter cube will be equal to 7.8 into 1000 kg per meter cube. That is 7800 kg per meter cube, which is option D. Question number 9. It says a block of wood has mass 200 kg if the density of wood is 800 kilogram per meter cube, its volume will be. So in this, how will you find out the volume? Volume is mass per density. So mass is given 200. 200 divided by 800 will give you 0.25. That is option A. In case of question number 10, a block of brass, its density is given as 8.4 gram per centimeter cube. In mercury, whose density is 13.6 gram per centimeter cube, it is going to float because the density of mercury is more than the density of brass. So it is option B. The last question of this MCQ section. The following is the characteristic property of a substance. See, characteristic property of a substance is always its density. That is option A. Now coming to the another section of your objective, that is the fill in the blanks. The first fill in the blank says the upward force exerted by a liquid on an object immersed in it is called, what is it called? Upthrust or buoyant force. So you will write over here upthrust or buoyant force. Now when the density of a body is less than the density of a liquid, then the body will float. In the third question, at 4 degrees Celsius, the density of water is how much? 1000 kilogram per meter cube, because we know that 1 gram per centimeter cube is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. In the fourth question, the density of copper is 8.9 gram per centimeter cube. Its relative density is 8.9, because we know that relative density is calculated as density of copper divided by density of water at 4 degree Celsius, which is equal to 1 gram per centimeter cube. So therefore relative density will be 8.9 divided by 1 will give you 8.9. Question number 5 says equal volume of iron and aluminium have different masses. Number 6, with the fall in temperature, the density of a substance increases. Seventh one, the relative density of a substance is also called specific gravity. Number 8, the hydrometer is used to measure what does the hydrometer measures? The density of a liquid. Number 9 says what do we use to test battery, that whether it's fully charged or not? We use acid battery hydrometer to test whether a battery is fully charged or not. Last fill in the blanks. It says that 2.4 gram per centimeter cube will be equal to how much? It's 2400 kg per meter cube. Clear? Coming to the true false section. Density of a body is a scalar quantity. Yes, it is true. Density of a solid varies from place to place. No, it never. The apparent weight of a floating body is 0. True. A body sinks deeper in liquid to low density than the liquid at high density. It is true. The SI unit of density is gram per centimeter cube. No, SI unit of density is kg per meter cube. So it is false. 1 gram per centimeter cube is 10,000 kg per meter cube. No, it is false. It would be 1000 kg per meter cube. Number 7, density of a body depends on its shape and size. No, it is false. Number 8, a piece of iron sinks in water but floats in mercury. True. Clear, children? Now coming to the number D, that is, with proper reasoning, choose the odd one out. See the first one. In first, there are 3 units are given. That is kg per meter cube, kg per centimeter cube, gram per centimeter cube. Now see, kg per meter cube is the SI unit of density. Gram per centimeter cube is also the CGS unit of density. But this is not a standard unit system. So this is the odd one out, that is kg per centimeter cube, because this is non-standard unit system. Other two are standard unit system, that is SI and CGS. The second one, it says hydrometer, density bottle and physical balance. See, out of this, hydrometer and density bottle, both of these are used to measure density, but physical balance is used to measure mass. So the odd one is physical balance because it is used to measure mass, and the other two are used to measure density. The last one, wood, plastic and brass. Out of this, plastic will be the odd one because it floats as the density is less than or nearly equal to water. Do you know the densities? See, wood is approximately 1.5 gram per centimeter cube. Brass is nearly 8.73 gram per centimeter cube, which is much more than water, which is 1 gram per centimeter cube. Whereas plastic is around 0.92 gram per centimeter cube. So it is a bit less or nearly equal to that of water. Clear, children? Next we come to the subjective questions. In subjective questions, the section E, the first question says, what is meant by the statement copper is denser than wood? See, what is copper, means why copper is denser than wood? We can write it in this way. The statement copper is more denser than wood means that the number of molecules or atoms per unit volume of copper is more than the number of molecules or atoms per unit volume of wood. Clear? What does the second question says? A simple one. Define the term density and state its SI unit. This is given in your book also, and I'm writing it over here as density of a substance is defined as the mass of a substance per unit volume. SI unit of density is kg per meter cube. The third question is asked that how does the density of a liquid vary with temperature? So what will be the answer? Almost all the substances expand on heating and contracts on cooling, but the mass of a substance remains unchanged. Therefore, the density of a substance decreases with increase in temperature. So in case of liquid, the change in volume with the change in temperature is very large. Hence, their density changes considerably. Therefore, with the rise in temperature, density decreases, and on cooling, density increases. Clear? Coming to the next question. What is the unit of relative density? So, the relative density has no unit because relative density is the ratio of two densities. Clear? Next question is said the density of iron is 7.8 gram per centimeter cube. You have to explain this statement. What does this statement mean? The statement density of iron is 7.8 gram per centimeter cube means 7.8 gram mass of iron per 1 centimeter cube of volume. So it can also be explained as density is equal to mass per volume. So therefore 7.8 gram per centimeter cube means 7.8 gram of mass per 1 centimeter cube of volume. Clear? The next question says, how is the relative density of liquid measured with the help of a density bottle? See what we'll do. To determine the density of a liquid, we first weigh the empty density bottle. Then fill it with water and take its weight. Next, we fill it with a given liquid and again weigh it. We record the observation. So how we will write the observations? The mass of empty bottle, that is equal to, let it be m1 gram. Mass of bottle filled with water, let it be m2 gram. Mass of bottle filled with liquid, let it be m3 gram. So mass of water will be m2 minus m1, because mass of bottle filled with water minus mass of empty bottle will give you the mass of water. Similarly, mass of liquid will be mass of bottle filled with liquid, that is m3, minus mass of empty bottle, that is m1 gram. Clear? Now, volume of 1 gram of water is 1 centimeter cube. So therefore, volume of m2 minus m1 gram of water will be m3 minus m1 centimeter cube. Hence, the volume of liquid is equal to volume of water, and that is equal to m2 minus m1 centimeter cube. Therefore, density of the liquid is equal to mass of liquid divided by volume of liquid, which is equal to m3 minus m1 divided by m2 minus m1 gram per centimeter cube. Clear? Coming to the next question, it says, when does a body float in a liquid? A body floats in a liquid only when its weight is balanced by the weight of the liquid displaced by the immersed part of the body. In other words, when a body floats in a liquid, then the weight of the floating body is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the immersed part of the body. Clear? See the next question. It says, explain the statement relative density of brass is 8.4. What will you write? The statement relative density of brass is 8.4. It means that when the ratio of the density of brass to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is calculated, we get the value 8.4. From here, we can also calculate the density of brass, because as we know, relative density is equal to density of substance divided by density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. So we get the density of brass is equal to relative density into density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Therefore, density of brass is equal to 8.4 into 1 gram per centimeter cube. Why? Since the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is 1 gram per centimeter cube, hence density of brass will be 8.4 into 8.4 gram per centimeter cube. Clear? Let's see what the next question says. Okay, this part is over. So we move to define the following. Let's see what are the definitions your book has asked for. First is law of flotation. What is law of flotation? A body floats in a liquid only when its weight is balanced by the weight of the liquid displaced by the immersed part of the body. The second definition is density. It's very easy. You have already done earlier. That density of a substance is defined as the mass of a substance per unit volume. Next one, the relative density. Relative density is what? The relative density of a substance is defined as the ratio of the density of the substance to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. The fourth one, force of buoyancy. This is a very important definition. It says the upward force experienced by a body when partly or completely immersed in a liquid is called force of buoyancy. Clear, children? Next in your book, they have asked differentiate between floating and sinking. Now, what is floating? When a body is immersed in a liquid, then if the weight of the body is equal or less than the buoyant force, then the body is found either just under the surface of the liquid or partly immersed in the liquid. This situation of the body is called floating. Whereas sinking means when a body is immersed in a liquid, then if the weight of the body is more than the buoyant force, then the body is found settled at the bottom of the container. This situation of the body is called sinking. Next difference they have asked for, density and relative density. It is very easy. Density is what? Density of a substance is the mass of the substance per unit volume, whereas relative density is of a substance is the ratio of the density of the substance to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Unit of density is gram per centimeter cube in CGS system and kg per meter cube in SI system, whereas relative density has no unit because it is the ratio of two densities. Clear? Next we come to a pretty important part of this question answer session, that is give reason. Let's see what is the first one. Relative density has no unit. Oh, a number of times we have already discussed. Relative density has no unit because relative density is ratio of two densities, and the ratio of two similar physical quantities do not have any unit. The second reason, density of a substance decreases with increase in temperature. Yes, see what happens. Almost all the substances expand on heating and contract on cooling, but the mass of a substance remains unchanged. On heating, the molecules or atoms of the substance which are tightly packed get loosened and moves apart. Therefore, the density of a substance decreases with the increase in temperature. Clear? Let's say the third reasoning. Equal mass of different substances does not have same volume. Yes. So it says, since the number of molecules or atoms present per unit volume, that is the density of different substances are different. So even if equal mass of different substances are taken, they would not have same volume because of the variable density. Clear? Now, why a similar type of question is there, that equal volume of different substances have different masses. So it is also pretty similar to the previous answer, since the number of molecules or atoms present per unit volume, that is the density of different substances are different. So even if equal volume of different substances are taken, they would not have same mass because of the variable density. Clear? The next one. The lower end of a hydrometer is filled with mercury or lead. The reason is very simple. Hydrometer is a device that is used to measure the density of liquids. Now the lower bulb of the hydrometer is made heavy by filling it with mercury or lead so that it can be kept upright. Clear? The next reasoning asks is that body like cork or wood float in water. Yes. So why? Because since the weight of the body like cork or wood is either equal or less than the buoyant force of water, so they float in water. What does the number 7 says? An iron needle sinks in water but floats on mercury of density 13.6 gram per centimeter cube. Yes, because the density of mercury is more. Let's see what the answer is. Since an iron needle is much denser than water, so the buoyant force of water on the needle is quite less. Hence, the needle sinks in water. On the other hand, the density of mercury, that is 13.6 gram per centimeter cube, is much more than that of the iron needle, which is approximately 7.6 gram per centimeter cube. Hence, mercury offers more buoyant force on the iron needle. Hence, the iron needle floats. Clear? Next one. It is easier to swim in seawater than in river water. See why the swimmers feel it very easy to swim in seawater than river water. Since the density of seawater is greater than that of the river water due to dissolved salt in it, so it offers more buoyant force on the swimmer's body, which helps the swimmer to float and swim easily. Next is the relative density remains same in all system of units. Now see, since the relative density is the ratio of two densities, similar physical quantities in same unit system. So when the ratio is calculated, the individual density units are brought down to the same unit system. So on cancellation, no unit remains, hence relative density remains same in all the system of units. So these were the subjective and the objective questions given at the back of your chapter. Clear, children? Next we are going to move to the numerical section. So let's start the numericals of this chapter. The first numerical says a solid block of weight 20 kg, its volume is found to be 4000 centimeter cube. Find its density in gram per centimeter cube and kg per meter cube. Let's see how to solve it. First, mass of the solid block that is given as 20 kg, that is equal to, we can convert it into gram, 20 into 1000, that is 20,000 gram. Next, volume of solid block that is given as 4000 centimeter cube, which is equal to 4000 by 10 to the power 6 meter cube, that is equal to 4 by 1000 meter cube. See, why we have converted both these things all together? Because we have to find its density in both the unit system. Okay. So now density of solid block is given as mass by volume. So what is the mass? It's 20,000 divided by 4,000 is equal to 5 gram per centimeter cube. So we got the answer in gram per centimeter cube. Next, let's find out the mass in kg per meter cube. So density of solid block is again m by v, that will be equal to 20 by 4 by 1000 kg per meter cube, that is equal to 20 into 1000 by 4 kg per meter cube. On cancellation, you will get 5000 kg per meter cube. This is the answer in SI unit, that is kg per meter cube. Clear? Let's see the next question. It says, calculate the volume of copper of mass 2000 kg when its density is 8.4 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so what is given? Mass of copper is given as 2000 kg. So that is equal to 2000 into 1000. This much gram we will get it. Next, given as density of copper is given, that is 8.4 gram per centimeter cube. So volume of copper will be equal to mass by density. So therefore, mass is this much divided by 8.4 centimeter cube, which on calculation you will get 238,095.2380 centimeter cube, which is approximately 238,095.24 centimeter cube. Clear? See the third numerical. It says a can weighs 15 gram when empty, 75 gram when filled with water, and 76.8 gram when filled with glycerine. Find the relative density of glycerine. Fine. So mass of empty can is given as 15 gram. Mass of can filled with water is given as 75 gram. And mass of can filled with glycerine is given as 76.8 gram. So therefore mass of only glycerine will be equal to mass of can filled with glycerine minus mass of empty can, that is 76.8 minus 15 is equal to 61.8 gram. So therefore mass of only water can also be calculated as 75 gram minus 15 gram, that is equal to 60 gram. Now volume of 1 gram of water is 1 centimeter cube. So therefore volume of 60 gram of water will be 60 centimeter cube. Since volume of water is equal to volume of glycerine, therefore volume of glycerine will be equal to 60 centimeter cube. Now therefore density of glycerine will be mass by volume. that is equal to 61.8 by 60, which is equal to 1.03 gram per centimeter cube. This is the density of glycerine given. In your book, only density of glycerine is given. But in question, they have asked with relative density also. So, we will calculate the relative density also. So, we also know that the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So, therefore, relative density of glycerine will be how much? Density of glycerine divided by density of water. That is equal to 1.03 divided by 1 is equal to 1.03. Here we will not put any unit because relative density doesn't have any unit. Let's come to the next question. It says calculate the density of a solid from the following data. Mass of the solid is given as 80 gram. Final volume of the water in a measuring cylinder is given as 25 centimeter cube. Final volume of water when the solid is immersed in water is given as 35 centimeter cube. Fine. So firstly, mass of solid is given as 80 gram. Initial volume of water in the measuring cylinder is given as 25 centimeter cube. Final volume of water when the solid is immersed in water is given as 35 centimeter cube. Therefore, volume of solid is equal to volume of water displaced. That is equal to 35 minus 25 is equal to 10 centimeter cube. Therefore, density of solid is equal to mass by volume, which is equal to 80 by 10, that is 8 gram per centimeter cube. This is the first, that's the answer. Coming back to the next question. It says an empty density bottle weighs 25 gram when completely filled with water. It weighs 55 gram. And when completely filled with a liquid, it weighs 52 grams. Calculate volume of the density bottle and density of the liquid. Okay, we have to calculate two things. So first what we will do, mass of the empty bottle is given as 25 gram and mass of density bottle is given with water is given as 55 gram and mass of density bottle filled with along with the liquid is given as 52 gram. So therefore mass of only water is equal to 55 minus 25, that is equal to 30 gram, and volume of 1 gram of water we know as 1 centimeter cube. So therefore volume of 30 gram of water will be equal to 30 centimeter cube. This is the basic calculation we have done. Now we will find out the first one. First one is given as volume of the density bottle. So since we know that the volume of water is equal to volume of density bottle, therefore volume of density bottle will be equal to 30 centimeter cube. This is the first answer. And for the second one, density of a liquid. So density of a liquid, we know that the mass of liquid is M3 minus M1. That is your mass of density bottle and liquid minus mass of the empty bottle. That is equal to 52 minus 25 is 27 gram. And volume of liquid is equal to volume of water, that is 30 centimeter cube. Therefore, density of the liquid is equal to mass by volume, which is 27 by 30 gram per centimeter cube. That is equal to 0.9 gram per centimeter cube. Clear, children? Let's move to the sixth question. It says, empty density bottle weighs 30 gram. When completely filled with water, it weighs 55 grams. And when completely filled with brine solution, it weighs 55.5 gram. Calculate the volume of the density bottle and density of the brown solution. It's very similar to the last question. Before I move to the solution, just one small information I would give. What is brine solution? It's actually a salt solution. Salt and water. Okay. Now come to the solution. Mass of the empty density bottle is given as 30 gram. Mass of density bottle and water is given as 55 gram. Mass of density bottle and brine solution is given as 55.5 gram. Therefore, mass of only water will be equal to 55 minus 30, that is 25 gram. And we know that volume of 1 gram of water is 1 centimeter cube. Therefore, volume of 25 gram of water will be equal to 25 centimeter cube. So, the first question we can solve. Volume of density bottle. Since volume of water is equal to volume of density bottle, therefore volume of density bottle will be 25 centimeter cube. And we have to find out the density of brine solution. So mass of only brine solution will be equal to 55.5 minus 30, that is 25.5 gram. And volume of brine solution, that is equal to volume of water, that is 25 centimeter cube. Therefore density of brine solution will be equal to mass by volume, that is 25.5 gram by 25, that is 1.02 gram per centimeter cube. Clear? Come to the next question. It says, how many kilogram of milk can be poured in a jar that can contain 0.5 kg of water? Given density of milk is 1040 kg per meter cube. Fine. So mass of water is 0.5 kg is given. Because see, it's given how many kg of milk. That means you have to find out the mass of milk when it is poured in a jar that contains 0.5 kg of water. So mass of water is given as 0.5 kg. Now volume of 1 kg of water is equal to 1 by 1000 meter cube, that is 0.001 meter cube. Therefore volume of 0.5 kg of water will be 0.5 into 0.001, that is 0.0005 meter cube. Since volume of water is equal to volume of the container, here it is the milk can, therefore volume of the container, that is equal to 0.0005 meter cube. And density of milk is given as 1040 kg per meter cube. Therefore, mass of milk is equal to density into volume, that is equal to 1040 into 0.0005, which is equal to 0.52 kg. Clear? Let's see the next question. A container weighs 50 gram when empty, 120 gram when filled with water, and 113 gram when filled with an oil. Find the density of the oil. So mass of the empty container is given as 50 gram. Mass of the container filled with water is given as 120 gram. Mass of container filled with oil is given as 113 gram. So therefore mass of only oil will be equal to 113 minus 50, that is 63 gram. Therefore mass of only water will be equal to 120 minus 50, that is 70 gram. Now volume of 1 gram of water is 1 centimeter cube. Therefore volume of 70 gram of water is 70 centimeter cube. And since volume of water is equal to volume of oil, therefore volume of oil will be also equal to 70 centimeter cube. Therefore density of oil, that is M by V, is equal to 63 by 70, that is 0.9 gram per centimeter cube. Clear? Let's move to the next question. The density of water is given as 1000 kg per meter cube. If a solid of relative density 1.5 is placed in water, will it float or sink? Very nice question. So density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Given, since 1 gram per centimeter cube is 1000 kg per meter cube, so density of water can also be written as 1 gram per centimeter cube. Now relative density is equal to 1.5 given. Okay, so we know that relative density is equal to density of substance divided by density of water. And we also know that density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is 1 gram per centimeter cube. Therefore density of substance is equal to relative density into density of water, that is 1.5 into 1, that is 1.5 gram per centimeter cube. Therefore density of solid is more than density of water. See, density of solid is 1.5 gram per centimeter cube and density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. Therefore density of solid is more than density of water. So what happens when density of solid is more than water? So it is clear that since the density of solid is greater than the density of water, therefore the solid will sink. Clear? Let's come to the last question. 1 liter of water is added to 1 liter of milk. What will be the density of the mixture? Is given 1 liter is 1000 centimeter cube and density of milk is 1.04 gram per centimeter cube. Okay. So volume of water is given as 1 liter, that is 1000 centimeter cube. And volume of milk is also 1 liter, that is 1000 centimeter cube. Therefore, total volume of the mixture, because 1 liter of milk and 1 liter of water is added. So that is 1000 plus 1000, 2000 centimeter cube is the total volume of the mixture. Then density of milk is given as 1.04 gram per centimeter cube. Therefore, mass of milk will be density into volume. That is 1.04 into 1000, that is 1040 gram. And we also know that the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is 1 gram per centimeter cube. Therefore, mass of water will be density into volume. That is 1 into 1000 is 1000 gram. So, therefore, total mass of the mixture will be 1040 plus 1000 is 2040 gram. So, therefore, density of the mixture will be mass by, that is the total mass of the mixture by the total volume of the mixture. That is 2040 by 2000, that is 1.02 gram per centimeter cube. Clear, children? I hope that you have understood these numericals. So you people have understood the question answers, the numericals. Great. Now put them in your copy and practice it regularly at your home. Okay? So see you in my next video with the new chapter, that is force and pressure. Till then, stay at home, stay safe.